You're talking to the finals man, bro, man. Come on, finish it. We are the closest to City.
I mean, you're not really. You're fifth.
No, I'm telling you, we are in it. Because I know you think.
Fifth. For us to finish top two and be the only team that gave City a legible title challenge, I consider that to be a good season.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, De La Strada, the man of many club faces. One of my teams have taken the title and won the league, so thank God for that. And I'm also joined by my fellow pundits, starting from my left, Strives.
Yo, man, I'm Strives. Avid, as everyone describes himself, avid Arsenal fan. Yeah, man, happy to be here. Well, you know that with your many club faces, do we have to give you a guard of honor today? If
you wanted to, but I don't mind, you know.
Non-applicable.
So,
but yeah, man, here supporting Arsenal, man. Yeah, man. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got for you, mate. That's all I got.
Then next, I'm joined by Joey.
Yep, it's your boy Joey, Liverpool supporter. It's a tumultuous season. Loads to say, man, but I'm not on the hype here, but I'm just here to kind of like enjoy the celebration of the end of the season and all that, man. So let's get it, boys.
Yeah. So we're not joined today by other pundits, Drayman and Marley Marl. People on annual leave. So yeah, it's just the three of us today. Before I start the pod, let me do some admin, let you know where you can find us. You can find us on all major platforms. That's Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, there's all the other stuff like YouTube. And you can interact with us on social media. That's TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. The handles are, is it podcast.pundits?
Yeah, podcast.pundits. And then we got podcast pundits _ on Twitter. And then just podcast pundits on TikTok. Instagram is podcast.pundits.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, subscribe, tell your friend to tell a friend. Let's go, baby. Yeah, where should we start? There's no other place but to start from the team that took the title, reclaimed the title, Man City.
The three-peat.
Now they're back to probably go and do the trebles, let's see. But, Strives, let me come to you first as their nearest rival to City. How did you feel when you saw them lifting the trophy yesterday?
I don't know why Joey's laughing, but yeah. It feels quite surreal to be the nearest rival to City. It feels real surreal. How did I feel? So first of all, yeah, you know, like sometimes you're looking to see like the trophy lift. So I wanted to see how Gundo was going to do it, man.
So you stayed.
You know what? I won't lie to you. I fell asleep and then I woke up just in time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then at first I was thinking, right, like, what's with their footwear kind of thing? And I was just noticing.
What were they wearing?
I think Gundo was wearing like these
Adidas
black Adidas with the neon soles. I was thinking like it's like they changed into the crepes, but I think there was a few pitch invasions.
Yeah. They had to run. They got run out of town still, bro.
So they must have changed their footwear or something. So that's one thing I noticed. And I was just thinking, I don't know, I thought I expected there to be a bit of pizzazz or whatnot, man. I feel like there's been some better trophy lifts, but how I felt, I felt.
I never knew we spent that much time looking at people's trophy lists, but
you know what I mean.
You should have seen when Liverpool won it, bro. Everyone was talking about it.
But anyway, how did I feel? I felt kind of like, damn, that's exactly how I felt. Like, damn, man, like, sheesh. That's how I felt. Like, I felt deflated. I felt empty. I felt like, I bet everybody's regretting going against Arsenal now because this is getting boring now. How many times are we going to see this bloody team lift this bloody Premiership, bro? 5 times in the last 7 years. It's boring, man. They're turning this league into freaking into the Farmers League. But
before you carry on, can I ask you a question? Just before, like, what did you get out of watching the trophy lift? Is it to like make you? You know when you just
give you the energy for next
give you the energy for next season, like so to make you a stronger fan or a more optimistic fan. Like, what did that do for you?
You know what? It wasn't a case where I intentionally watched it. It was like it's almost like, oh damn, I forgot that this happens, kind of thing. It was just on. It was on the TV. I fell asleep. I woke back up, and I was just like, yeah, man, I might as well watch this, man. There was no real science behind it. It was just on TV, and I thought I might as well watch it.
Yeah. Joe, let me come to you. Did you watch the game, or you just watched the trophy lift?
I was in my workshop, and the game was on in the background, but I was doing other stuff. So I didn't watch the whole match. I saw a couple goals, and
There was only one goal, bro.
Was it? Shit. Well, that goes to show how much attention I wasn't paying. But yeah, like Striver, it was on in the background. So I saw when he actually raised up the trophy, but I didn't really watch anything else, to be fair.
But did you see the starting lineup, or did you see the squad?
I saw the starting lineup, and I saw all of those things, and I saw the end of the Guard of Honor.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped paying attention, and then yeah. So I was like in and out of the game, to be fair.
So did you notice the amount of players that City had on the bench?
Yeah, I think it was like about 600 million's worth.
Yeah. So next season, how do other teams compete against that when they can afford to leave such a list of players on that bench and still beat Chelsea comfortably?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that, because as somebody who has the experience of beating them, even with that on the bench, you just have to come with something new that Pep doesn't really know how to deal with.
Like Nunes.
But you know what's crazy about the Nunes thing is that Klopp and Pep had the same idea. They had the same idea theoretically.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, like sometimes shit don't work out. But no, you just have to come with something new, innit? And I think the problem with Arteta is that, I mean, everybody said it loads of times, but it's pretty much they play the same football. So
yeah, it's not just a problem with Arteta. There was
there was
19 other teams in the league.
But I say it's the problem with Arteta, because if he created something different, that's the only way you're going to beat Pep. In my opinion, you're not going to beat him by playing the same tactics as him.
No, but he wasn't playing the same tactics.
Generally, throughout the season, they're playing the same tactics.
Yeah, but you know what? People have given Pep a lot of credit.
The box in the middle.
Yeah, but
the WM, whatever.
Yeah, but that's ancient though. People have been
Pep kind of moved on now to just like basically he just plays three centre backs now.
No.
So the WM is the three centre backs. So it counts as the three centre backs as well, because it just morphs, constantly morphing in it. But I think what I would say with them, even though they play different styles and variations of it for different games, generally, if you look at his purchase of Zinchenko and then playing him as a flip between inverted, it's the same. It's the same formation, really and truly, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it was working, didn't it? But what I was going to say is that people have given Pep a lot of credit for playing three centre backs, but Arteta,
no, that's not him. Yeah.
Arteta was in it for the whole of the season.
No, it's not credit to him. It's just credit for doing it and winning.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is, really. But to answer your question, you have to do something completely different, in my opinion, if you want to beat Pep.
Yeah. So
and to be fair, Arteta was his assistant, and
exactly. So just from the same. All of them are Cruyff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Cruyff
understand his.
So speaking of Pep, that's my uncle. So Pep, I think he's won 11 titles out of a possible 14.
Mm-hmm.
That's Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now City.
Are you sure it's 14? Wasn't it for 15?
No. Wherever you got, I got this number from Match of the Day, and they're accurate.
Really? Sometimes you got to fact check, you know.
Yeah. Do you want to do your fact check?
Yeah, like the stuff they were saying about COVID, bro. I fact checked it. They were wrong.
No,
very wrong.
So they said out of a possible 14 seasons, 14, 15, whatever it is, he's taken 11.
Yeah. So that's how many seasons he's managed in. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah.
Out of a potential 14 seasons, he's taken 11 titles. So he his first season at Man City, he didn't win it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he didn't win it against once against Real Madrid for Mourinho, and then against Liverpool. So that's 3.
Yeah.
So he's only not won the league on 3 occasions.
What's the question?
So the question
I
is,
can throw some hate on this shit.
No, the question is obviously like where would you rank Pep as a manager, as in what is his legacy, and then how would you can you put him amongst the greats right now?
Yeah, because for me to be amongst the greats, there's a minimum requirement in terms of certificates, or should I say silverware.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, for example, before people in my Liverpool fan group was talking about how good of a manager Klopp is and that he's world class. And I'm saying that Klopp is sick, but he's not world class, or he's not in the elite. He can't be in that conversation unless he has like the minimum entry.
Yeah.
What's the minimum entry?
For me, it's a Premier League. Sorry, a couple domestic trophies or a Champions League. I think. I don't think you can be in the greatest thingy without a Champions League trophy.
But don't you think it's hard? Let's say someone like Klopp. It's just unfortunate that he's come up against someone like Pep. So it doesn't discredit him as a manager. But in order for him to obviously get those trophies, he has to obviously
but he's got in it. So
overcome.
So 100%. But I just think.
So would you discredit someone like Arsene Wenger then?
Technically, no, not because he hasn't got a European. He's got enough domestic trophies to circumvent that Champions League qualification, innit? So, like, let's say, for example, Pep had never won a Champions League. He's still in the conversation just by sheer volume and alone.
Yeah.
But I think if you haven't got all of those trophies to back you up, you at least need like a UEFA Cup or a Champions League, for me to say that you can even be in that conversation. Like, everybody talks about Bielsa, yeah, he's sick and he brings some sick innovation, but how effective is it if you haven't got anything to back it up? And he probably has in Argentina or something, but yeah.
So, Strad, let me come to you. Obviously, there's obviously been some talk about Pep versus Fergie. So, if you were to pick one out of the two, who would be your choice and why?
Tough one. Yeah, tough one. I think Pep's obviously is the easy answer is Pep's the better coach because he actually he improves players like John Stones is evidence of that. Grealish, even though Grealish cost what he cost, but you can see how he's improved Grealish's game as well. And then you can also maybe argue that players improved in the United squad, like Paul Scholes, for instance. But then the questions asked is how much involvement did Fergie have in coaching those players? So I would say Pep is probably the better coach. In terms of better manager, obviously it's a tough one. They're they're equal in the sense that they've won the same amount of Champions Leagues. Fergie has basically taken teams from not winning, taken like mid-table teams and turned them into winners. He did it in Scotland with Aberdeen. He did it with Manchester United. Manchester United hadn't won weren't winning honours for I can't remember how many years.
Knocked Liverpool off of their perch.
Yeah, and then
he done it.
He literally took Manchester United from not winning anything to being like one of, if not, well, I think they're not Liverpool are, but one of the most successful teams in England. I think he even took Aberdeen to beat Real Madrid in the Cup Winners' Cup final. I read somewhere. So you would say manager-wise, as it stands, maybe Fergie. You would say probably was the better manager just based on that. But this is Pep for how young he is. Pep's probably got another, how long's Pep probably going to be managing for? Another decade, maybe?
He's for as long as he wants, to be honest, bro. Like,
yeah, so for what
Hodgson is still managing, so
exactly. So for what he's achieved already, like, it's just it's a tough one, man. Like, I'm on the fence, but if I had to choose one, if I had to choose one right now, my heart's saying Pep, my mind says Fergie.
I need you to choose one, sir.
All right, okay.
I'm sure he asked you to choose one.
He did. And I stayed on that.
Not your heart or your mind.
I stayed on that fence.
Riding that fence, right?
I stayed on that fence. All right, okay. I'm gonna say Alex Ferguson, man.
Cool.
I'm gonna say Alex Ferguson.
Joey?
I'm gonna say it is a tough one. So excuse how fast I'm gonna answer this. It is a tough one though, but I'm gonna say Alex Ferguson. And my reasoning is because I think one has done it from resourcefulness and the other one has mainly done it from resources.
But you can say the same about Ferguson as well.
100%.
I know, but you didn't hear what I said. I said one has done it through resourcefulness.
Okay.
And the other one has done it through resources.
But, okay, go and carry on.
So I feel like for me, there's a certain amount of levels that Pep takes his clubs from. So he will go from, I'd say he'll go from maybe 75 to 100 and get these teams firing on all cylinders. And I think that's potentially could be harder. Could be harder to do, but I don't really know about management and coaching to that extent. But I see with Alex Ferguson, I've seen him go from doo-doo to gold.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just more poetic to me, in my opinion. But in terms of, like I said, it could be harder to get from 75 to 100 than it is to get from 0 to. Yeah. And I don't think that Alex Ferguson necessarily got to 100, because if I look at the style of footballs, I've never been a fan of how Man United have played football. But then you see like Pep's teams, they play beautiful football. So it's down to that. And it's also down to, it's hard to compare them because like Shriver said, one's a coach and one is a manager.
Yeah.
So you know how like sometimes DJ Khaled gets ratings for being thingy, but nobody knows what he does, bro.
Yeah.
So like, well, technically him and P Diddy, they're good managers, innit? So that's why they're legends, because they don't actually do anything talent wise or all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean,
Khaled makes the beats.
No, he don't make no beats, bro.
What does he do?
He's just a producer. So you know when he like,
he makes the beats.
No, producer is when I get you and I put you together on a song.
He doesn't make any beats.
Like an executive producer kind of thing.
He don't make no beats.
This nigga ain't in the studio, bro. This nigga ain't in the studio.
Shit.
So like Kanye West is a goat because he does everything.
Okay.
But DJ Khaled is a executive like P Diddy and all that. So I would say Sir Alex Ferguson's more of a P Diddy and Pep is more of a Kanye West. In terms of again, like I said, I prefer the zero to hero story more than the hero to bigger hero story. So that's what it would be.
So for me, because it was interesting when you said resourcefulness. So I'm taking, you're saying Ferguson was more resourceful.
No, he's done it without. He's had to be resourceful.
But what people are forgetting where Pep took Barcelona from, they weren't the dominant team in the Premiership. I mean, in La Liga. Yeah. And the team that he had, okay, this was Messi before Messi.
No, I don't count Messi as that story, but he had, even though he got rid of loads of players, he had some.
But
he still inherited. He had Eto'o, Iniesta, Xavi.
That's won
not disputing that. But what I'm trying to say is that people, I think they're very quick to just write off Pep by saying he's only managed at all these good clubs and he's a checkbook manager. But he is though a checkbook manager. No, but what manager is not?
But one thing I will say about Pep though, he's won the league 3 times in every country every league that he's.
You know what other managers will say? That must be nice for him.
No, but
it must be nice for him.
Answer my question: what other manager is not a checkbook
he's earned
manager?
that though.
Okay, I'll tell you. Like Jose Mourinho,
he's not a checkbook manager.
Listen. Jose Mourinho at Porto.
Okay, yeah.
That wasn't a checkbook management.
Okay, but that was 2 seasons.
So remember, I said. One has showed resourcefulness, the other one uses resources. So all of these managers that I'm talking about, they have shown, listen, I can get down and dirty in the fucking conference if I need to, but I don't want to be there anymore. It's the doldrums. I don't want to be down there, bro. I want to be up here drinking champagne with Pep and them, man.
But when people say those sort of things, it's like they discredit Pep to see as in like he's a manager and he's a coach. He can do it in any league.
No, but I think...
But the thing is, we say that, but we haven't...
I know because you haven't seen it. But just look at what he's done and how many times he's reinvented his team and his style of play. So people tell me Pep can't go to the Championship and boss it up.
I don't think he can, bro. Do you know why? No. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because
you haven't seen it, but I get that.
One, and two... Bro, the talent levels to do some of the things that he wants his players to do. It's not down there, bro. It's not down there. Like, so
company does change the whole way how Burnley play. You know what I'm saying? So if company can do it, why can't Pep do it?
No, Pep will give it a good go, but I'm not saying Pep wouldn't. I'm not where Julius is. I think sorry, Joey. I think I think Pep would do well in the Championship, but I make Joey right where he says the resources are so much different. So the talent, the void in talent or the gap in talent, the range in talent is so like far between even one another. From let's say what he's used to managing to down there, he would probably find himself with struggles he's never had to face before.
Sorry, just to clarify what I'm saying, like because you did make a good point. I think he can go in and win it. But I don't know if he would necessarily be as dominant without those resources because you can't necessarily change your style of play so many times in this kind. Because remember, you said he had 600 million on the bench. Yeah. When you're at a Colchester or when you're at Ipswich, bro, you can only afford maybe at most 2. Yeah. If you're lucky, 3 ways of playing. You can only afford that, innit? So you have to be able to obviously think outside the box like he does, innit? But he'll do that, but it's only going to take you to a certain extent. So that's what I'm saying. But when you've got things like let's go to the conference. In the conference, bro, when it's kick and run, a lot of the times. So like, even though you can do your training and all of that stuff, the players don't take instructions the same way. That's the difference between pros.
But wouldn't every manager struggle? That every top manager that you might bring into this frame of conversation.
Every manager plays the same football. More times they go attacking or defensive in the lower you go. Yeah, and sometimes they try and style it up, whatever. But the more you do that, the more it gets into your head when you're playing it. I think the issue with Pep is that he likes to change styles. And if you're doing that with players who don't have the same instruction taking ability as players in the Premier League, it's not so easy to kind of like adapt and change. So
what Pep has shown, what Pep's showing is that he's got adaptability
with resources.
Yeah, not just with resources. He's just showing that he's.
Everything we've seen from him is with resources. So
what about the team he inherited at Barca? Although it was a very good team,
it wasn't the greatest in the first season, was it?
Yeah, he won everything in the first season.
But he won
the league.
Okay, no, I didn't know. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
The only thing I'll probably say.
So what did you just say? It wasn't a what team?
What did I just say?
You said that Barca team wasn't a great team.
No, I never said it wasn't a great team. Okay. I said it wasn't a team where he had to buy it. He inherited that team. He didn't like.
He didn't buy anyone.
Yeah, he didn't buy anyone.
But he inherited one of the best teams in the world.
No, but they didn't start off as one of the best teams.
But remember, my comment was instruction taking. I'm saying at those lower levels is.
Obviously, let me land quickly after you finish.
Yeah. So my only difference is with those resources. And sorry, this was what I was told. The difference between like top quality players or professional players and semi-pros and non-professional is instruction taken. And obviously it's the level of the coach who's giving you instructions and your ability to take instructions. So, and your ability to carry out those instructions. Yeah. That's the difference, isn't it? So even though you're saying he inherited the team and didn't spend money, that team was money. He inherited money. So it's like a rich kid, Donald Trump, getting rich from being rich. He's different to Jay-Z.
But there's managers that have inherited good teams and not done anything with it.
They're shit managers.
But let me just on the whole Pep thing, we can't say in one breath he's one of the greatest coaches and Ferguson's one of the greatest managers. Mm-hmm. So we're saying one of the greatest coaches can't go down.
I'm not saying that.
But, so essentially, because when people say he can't do it without resources, if we're saying he's one of the greatest coaches, he's a coach first and foremost. He's not a manager. He's a coach, so he can coach players. So give an example of Vincent Kompany, where Burnley, who used to play kick and rush football, they got relegated. That fair enough, they got rid of a few players. He was able to change the culture of their football. So we're saying a disciple of Pep can do it, but the Messiah himself cannot do it. That's why I think people are wrong to say he's just a checkbook manager.
No, I'm not saying that he can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying like I haven't seen him do it.
Which is fair.
And so even with Vincent Kompany, like for me, he's got that.
He's got what?
He's got the minimum. Like for me, I've seen him. I can say I don't know how much money he's invested into this thing project. But based on what I know on the championship in terms of money available. I've seen a massive turnaround and him go there and implant his ideas on a team that nobody really knew. Obviously, we have to bear in mind Burnley is a team that got relegated to the Premier League. So if there's going to be any team you're going to get promoted with by implementing changes out of the championship, it's going to be Burnley. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he could have done that with Luton, perhaps.
No, my thing is that if you're a great coach, you can, and we can't discredit someone as Pep saying he's one of. And another thing, people keep on saying he's a checkbook manager. But do people know how many times Ferguson broke the English transfer record?
But again, the difference is that he's done it without being able to do it. So that's fine. Forgive him if he's lived in like a tramp, and when he gets it rich, he's spending the cash.
But that's fine. So you can look at it in so many different angles. We can say, okay, Pep has never inherited like a poor team or never taken someone from the mud all the way to the top. but he's done it in 3 different leagues and won it three times.
And that's
Ferguson hasn't done that.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So we can say it just depends how
Some
you look
people
at
might
it.
argue that what Ferguson done is more difficult though, because you know what? Let me just say, it's harder.
You think
what did Pep say? What did Pep say? Like, I don't know if these guys want it anymore,
know,
and I have to
of
motivate
course,
them. So
but-
you don't have to do that. Like, I'm a contractor, bro. When shit gets rough, I'm out, bro. As far as Pep's concerned, that's him as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to take a holiday, bro. He
But you know what's
doesn't give a
interesting?
real reason to why he wants to go. He just goes, bro.
Do you know,
Maybe it's
do,
the bro.
do you know what's
probably
interesting?
study.
What you just said.
Go on.
Ferguson has only managed in the Premiership and he's won practically everything, and we say that's fine. But when it comes to Messi and Ronaldo, everyone says Ronaldo's better because he hasn't. He's played in all these different leagues and he's done well. So now there's an example of a manager who's gone to another league and done well, but we're using that to discredit him and say, you know what, someone's done it year in, year out in the same league. So sometimes when it comes to football,
do it in
fans,
Scotland as well, though.
yeah,
But basically, Fergie's got all the minimum requirements. For he hasn't, because he.
What do you mean he hasn't? How many times has he reinvented football?
No, but it's not about just about that.
And how many times
it's about
has he
how much
won?
money? But you can't do that. Not everybody has the right to do that.
No, but guess what?
No,
But guess
but-
what?
I'm just saying
Guess what?
everything that Alex Ferguson has done, any manager out there can go and do that with the skill level that he has.
Yeah.
Not every manager can do what Pep has done.
Of course, exactly.
So no, because there's money, because there's a minimum requirement.
No, okay, so let me-
there's a barrier to entry.
But you see-
in Fergie, there's no barrier to entry.
Okay, that's fine. But you see when people say things about money,
So hold on.
Pep is a-
I think that's a bit flawed though,
Go
because
on.
well, I mean, because money. Fergie also required some money as well to
Of course.
achieve.
No, Aberdeen.
No, forget Aberdeen.
But then even with I like basically what Pep's done. I think what Del Estrada is basically honing in on is he's actually kind of reinvented and he's kind of developed and almost created a culture of football that almost everybody is encouraged by, guided
So
by.
let's clap for him for the culture then.
Yeah,
culture and trophies.
But then,
Okay,
but then for
we
you
can
to
do
say,
that.
but then for you to say that not everyone can do what Pep's doing, that kind of almost exalts him and puts him in almost a league of his own.
No,
which
no,
might
no. It's
be,
like not everybody can get up and go move abroad tomorrow because they've got stuff they have to do here.
But someone could do what Pep did if they had the mindset, if they had the intelligence, if they had the foresight to do such a thing.
No, but they have to do it at Man City, Newcastle, or one of these teams that have X amount of money.
No, but again, we come to money, but
Do you know what I'm saying?
But Pep is not the only one that spends money. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm not talking about that. It's not about who spends money. It's about can you do it with spending money and without spending money. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I'm not. This is not me.
No, I know what you're saying.
Xing out Pep.
I know, but
I'm just saying that everything that Pep's got.
But I think
Ferguson has some other things that Pep can't get,
and
Pep has some things that thingy like for
Ferguson
example, Ferguson's not a cultural icon like Pep is, and he can't be because he hasn't given the game what Pep or Wenger has given the game, in my opinion.
But can I say something very quickly before we move on? I think the Premiership started in 1994.
92, I think.
90. Why do I feel like it's 1990 even?
No,
I don't know. 92, and
I
think in 1995, guess what Ferguson did? He broke the English transfer record and bought Andy Cole.
But that doesn't matter.
So what I'm trying to say,
No, but
what did he win in 1990?
You think you're calling?
No, I'm just merely saying it so people realize that Ferguson has been spending money from young.
Okay, but Ferguson started way before that. So you're discounting the.
And what did he win before that? What did he
he?
win before 1994?
Dan Striver gave his accolades, bro.
No, before 94. What did he win before 1994?
But it doesn't matter, bro.
No, because what I'm trying to say is that
No, he had to build without money.
No, exactly. So during that time when he was building without money, did he win anything? That's what I want to know.
He won his. I think he won his first trophy for United. Don't quote me on this.
Was it a League Cup?
I think. I don't. I know it was a cup. It was in 1990.
Yeah. And then when did they get dominance from 1994, 95?
Yeah, but then
when he started spending money. But that's fair, right?
But you're not listening. I'm saying Fergie has two things.
No,
You're
but
saying
he also inherited the class of 92.
And Ferguson have the same thing.
What's that?
You're saying that Pep and Ferguson have the same thing. Yeah,
No,
they both share that. But I'm saying Ferguson has one thing that Pep hasn't got. That's what I'm
he
saying.
started from the ground up.
Yeah, that's
and
the
I'm saying,
only difference.
and that's fine. But what I'm saying, I'm just letting people realize that everyone's been spending money, and Ferguson's been spending money since 1994.
Not everybody has been spending money.
But most managers spend money.
But out of the two, though, I think I get where you're both coming from. Still.
Yeah. Oh, so my thing is just that, again, just to run off my points on this, my thing is that Pep has loads of things. He just doesn't have that one thing that I personally really enjoy in a manager, which is struggle, bro. Like everybody likes a zero to hero story, bro, and that I don't get that from Pep.
I heard that, but do you think it's fair just because I can't be poor? Like you treat me differently to everyone else.
100%. That's life, innit? Because poor people get treated differently for being poor, and rich people get treated differently for being rich.
So you're essentially saying you can never give Pep.
Let me give you an example.
Let me finish first.
Go.
You can never give Pep the ratings he deserves because you've never seen him struggle.
It's like, you know, when you see when I go on Instagram and record myself rapping along to a song, nobody gives a fuck, but then a white brother will come and do it, and then everybody, oh my god, this white guy knows all the tunes. That's life, innit? Sometimes if you've got money, people treat you different to when you don't have money. And I don't, if I get like a rich kid who becomes a rapper and blows up, whatever, he's never going to be respected the same way Jay-Z is for coming from ground up and having a real hustle.
Yeah, I heard that, but it's just like when we used to do Pep versus Mourinho, everyone will say Mourinho he did what Ferguson did. But apart from that little thing, it's like. But
when you do that, you have to give Pep his just dues. You have to give him, and that's what I'll always do.
Because he's not just a good manager; he's an extremely good coach.
Yeah. And that has to be noted.
Yeah,
I think probably the best ever coach for me. In terms of being able to get stuff out of your players. But again, every time you talk about that, you have to talk about the money. You have to talk about the money.
And again,
but you don't have to talk about the money when you're talking about Alex Ferguson. You don't have to talk about the money when you're talking about Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho, he spent money at Man United, Chelsea.
Winning the Champions League with Porto is one of the biggest things ever, bro.
No, but Jules, I think that's like 10% of his lifespan as a manager.
But that doesn't even matter, because that is one of the most important 10%, because that's what established him as a top manager.
No, but that's fine. But if he didn't, it's like if Klopp didn't spend the money on what's your keeper's name again?
Alisson.
On Alisson and Van Dijk. Do you think you guys would have elevated to where you needed to be?
Yeah, because we won the Champions League.
With who?
We won the Champions League without Alisson, no?
And VVD.
With VVD, yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. So at some point, in order for you to elevate yourself to a certain place, you need to spend money. So if Jose Mourinho just stayed at Porto, that would have been it. There's been managers that have come and gone, and that's been it. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is, because what you keep on saying is that
you agree with me. You know?
No, I'm exactly. So I'm just making it clear that everyone keeps on saying this thing about Pep spent money, but every single manager has spent money to get them to the place that we're recognizing them as a great manager.
No.
Ferguson has done it.
No.
Mourinho's done it.
No, I agree.
Who does not spend money?
No, I'm saying, I agree with you. I agree with you. But I'm just saying, like, so, okay, I'll give you another example. So with comedians, there's some comedians that come out and then they just get big because people like who they are, or they're funny or whatever, or they've got good Instagram. But there's comedians that are out touring on the road, doing clubs, for 10 years. And the real comedians don't respect anybody who's an Instagram comedian or anything. They only respect people who have been on the road and have been grinding on the road for 10 years before. This is all I'm saying, is that there's a minimum requirement or there's a stage that Pep skipped in his development. That's what I'm saying. So it's like all the real comedians, they don't look at anybody who's a comedian who hasn't done their 10 years. And they don't think this brother is a real brother.
Yeah, but if you've done 14 years and won 11, won 11 titles.
It's like Drake. It's like Drake and Jay-Z, bro. It's like Drake and Jay-Z, bro.
Yeah, but you're still
Jay-Z's the greatest, but people are now saying Drake is the greatest because he's got the numbers as well. So it's really about a matter of opinion. But for me, Drake isn't Jay-Z, and for me.
Yeah, no, but then you could put a decent argument for Drake just because of his
100%
his versatility and etc.
You have to give them the just dues, bro.
Exactly. So I just think his as much as I'm on the side where I'm giving it to Alex Ferguson because he's obviously the most decorated manager of all time at the moment, 49 major honours or 48, however many it is.
What's Pep got? Do you know?
I think Pep's on 28.
28 and Ferguson's on how many?
49.
But Ferguson
I think so.
Retired when he was about 10,000, bro.
Hold on, let me check
I don't know about
48.
That sounds crazy. That sounds like a trailer.
Let me check because I ruled that out too quick.
40.
No, but you know what?
48, bro.
This has been an argument that's been had so many times. I just feel like I've heard that before.
What? My point?
No, that
he's won 40.
No, you mean Fergie? Fergie's won about 40. Let me check
that, please. I'm not.
Is that for if that's crazy?
Because he's won how many Premier Leagues? About 13 or less.
Yeah, so he's won. I think he's won 13. Hold on, let me see how many. What
FA Cups and I don't think it's 40s though, bro.
How many honours has Fergie got? Yeah.
Then after this, then we can move on.
Or we count it into Toto.
Well, you have to count everything, innit? It's your medals. It's your trophy.
Hold on.
Do you like count
one second,
Europa Conference League?
So just some of the chill out, man. Just some of the remarkable statistics applicable upon his retirement in May 2013 include a total of 49 major trophies won under his guidance.
49. And what's Pep?
Hold on, let me check.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, I think Pep's around 20 something. Pep has won.
Does that have an impact on what you think?
No. That's I was just really surprised that he's won 40.
Literally a trophy a day, bro. Oh, it's never humble.
All right, keeps on.
We got the Leicester and Newcastle game playing in the background still.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a penalty.
You reckon that's a penalty?
No, not sure. But yeah, while Strides is finding that, Joe, let me ask you a question on City. They are trying to go for the treble. They're 1 down, 2 to go. Do you think they can do it?
I expect them to do it, man.
Yeah,
I expect them to do it. I think Man United will be a touch and go game. For some reason, Man United and Liverpool always have a bit of you don't know who's going to win the game when it comes to City. But I think 100%, if they don't win the Champions League, bro, Pep will have to be the worst manager ever in the world, bro. Bro, you couldn't ask for a bit. This is like when Liverpool got Tottenham in the finals, bro.
Yeah, they should win. They should win it.
All right.
No, they have to win it. They have to win it, bro.
Finals are a completely different kettle of fish.
You're talking to the finals member, bro. Come on,
Yeah. Leave it.
Finalissima.
Yeah,
so Pep's total haul of 32 major trophies is quite incredible.
32?
Yeah.
Does that include this season?
When does this article? Okay, because it was hard to just find someone that just literally summarized it. As of 19th of May 2023, Pep has won 32 trophies.
19th of May, okay.
Yeah.
He's won how many?
32 trophies. That's Manchester City, Bayern Munich, and Barcelona.
The thing is on the track on course to beat that.
Who's that?
Pep. If we extrapolate how long he's been in the game and average it out.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said, obviously, with how young he is and what have you. He's definitely on course to overtake.
Again,
and even if he wins the Champions League, he's already won more Champions League than Fergie. So I can understand the debate. But yeah.
But come on though, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel from where I'm coming from in terms of the P's? Because obviously he skipped like a 10 or 8-year period where you have to be coaching shit players, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Where you'll be like, why am I even at this team, bro?
But
he's never had to deal with that.
You're forgetting he took over a Barcelona team that weren't performing.
They weren't performing,
and similar to Arteta, this was his. Okay, fairness, he managed the Barcelona B.
It was a sick team though, bro.
No, but
whether they're performing or not, it was a sick team.
But factor this. Imagine someone that's never managed before. Fair enough, he's done Barcelona B. I don't know how many seasons he's done Barcelona B. But that was his first proper job.
Yeah, bro.
And then from then on, you have to balance it out. So you can say, look at Ryan Mason.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tottenham are a sick team, but him as a manager, he ain't going to manage like a Barcelona and take them to another level. You need to have something already. There's no one that's just going to go in and say, yeah, he was a good manager from the beginning. Yeah, and
no, 100%.
And then he earned the right to keep getting the top jobs.
100%, because obviously one thing we know is that he got there and he just did a slaughter. He did the slaughter. He got rid of loads of players who everybody would have been doing question marks.
He does his first job and he dominated Europe.
Yeah, and I'm saying obviously, so
he scored Ferguson.
We know he's a good manager.
Yeah,
we know he's a good manager.
The 2 times they've played.
Yeah. We know.
What was it? 2-0 and 3-1.
You're right.
Let's
that's a great point, bro.
Let's move on. So, unfortunately, the nearly men at Arsenal, they I wouldn't say they've taken City all the way to the they didn't take them and they fell off. Man. So Strauss, what's the word? Commiserations? Yeah, commiserations.
Yeah, man. It's been a good season, man. It's been a good season. Let me clear that up.
I didn't ask no questions.
Oh, sorry, bro.
But yeah. But yeah, what do you think of your season?
Oh, now you want to talk to me? Oh, now you want to hear from me, huh? All right. How do
Not so much the season. Just tell me about the end. Like how have you felt for the last?
The climax.
Yeah, anti-climax.
Yeah, nah, it's been horrible, man. It's been horrible. What you have to understand is it's like the come down has been horrific, man. I don't know how else to describe the horror that I have felt. I think we've won I think I'm running in the last 8 or 10. I don't even know what the stats are. I think someone told me we've only won twice in the last 8 games or something like that.
Something like that.
Something ridiculous like that. It's been horrific. Whereas in the first 19 games, we had 50 points. I was on cloud 9. I'm enjoying football again. Like I migrated to combat sports for a while because
you're a good time Charlie, innit? Just fair weather fan, innit?
No, not at all actually. Because whilst that was happening, I was still going to the games and watching watching it and watching Arsenal play and stuff. So now I wouldn't say I'm a fair weather fan, but there was a point where football just wasn't enjoyable for me. So I had to find another vice. But Arsenal brought that love back this season. So where I'm at now, seeing the way we kind of we bottled it, we capitulated, it's been kind of horrific, man. It's been kind of hard to take. I've had to definitely sit down and just analyze and think to myself, how do I feel about this season? I've got to say, you know what? It's been a decent season because I know I put Arsenal to be top 4 this season. And I was one of the few people that did, amongst anybody I was talking to. So the majority of people were tipping Arsenal to finish outside of even the top 5. So for us to finish top 2 and be the only team that gave City a legible title challenge, I consider that to be a good season in the context of where Arsenal are coming from. Standalone, I can understand the elitist, successful clubs might say, I'm talking like a bum. But when you bring context into it, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Like if you gave me second at the beginning of the season, I'd have told you you're chatting shit.
Well, speaking of
this fella's laughing. Yeah, he's a Liverpool fan. He expected to win the league. You were competing on 4 fronts. You were competing on 4 fronts all of last season.
I don't feel as bad as you do right now.
No, he doesn't feel bad.
I don't feel bad, but I just don't know why you're laughing. I should be laughing at you, bro. There's no way you should be.
I don't want to interrupt.
We'll move on to Liverpool.
I don't want to interrupt.
That was very rude.
We got to talk about Arsenal.
No. I said we'll move on to Liverpool eventually.
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
In terms of putting things into context, I can't remember what it actually was. But I think I heard that. Do you know what Arsenal's invincible points total was?
90.
Like 71 or some shit like that.
No.
71. No. Was it 90?
Yeah, we got 90 points.
Oh, yeah. So apparently Arsenal would have been obviously close to...
This guy's fact checking. You know what? You make me sick. I want to be fact check it. Because you guys have been on to me on this episode, bro. I'm just...
90 seemed kind of high.
Hold on, let me.
I don't know if anyone got 90 back in the 80s, bro.
No, but you know what it was? I'll tell you what's happened. Yeah.
I think it is 90.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's happened. People didn't really care too much about point totals. Because even Mourinho got 95 points with Chelsea, and no one was like, "Oh my days, this means that this Chelsea team is better than every other Premier League winning team."
They only cared about it when Pep hit 100, didn't it? After that, that's when.
And you know why they cared about it then? It's only because Liverpool got 97.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how can you get 97 points and still not win the league? That's when people started talking about it. But actually, people were hitting 90. Hold on, let me do the quick fact check. But I'm pretty certain. Hold on.
So what he reckons that season is decent.
Yeah. Let's be real. Like, I know fans, opposition fans are going to be opposition fans, isn't it? But the truth of the matter is, no one, you can't not give credit to Arsenal. Doesn't matter how they fell off.
Yeah, 90, sorry to interrupt you. 90 points, yeah.
90 points, yes. I think Arsenal were going to be on track to even get 90 points, which is the Invincibles. So no one, let's be real. I know there's agendas, there's trolling, but when it comes down to it, no one can say no one expected Arsenal to be where they were. And for that in itself, Arsenal have had a very good season. So I think it's
not very good.
No, they've had a good season.
It's a great season.
No. Okay, you know what?
Based on all of that, but that's not the reality of the situation.
No, of course. Your objectives change over the course of the season.
Yeah, the reality of the situation is that, if we were talking about at the start of the season, and then they said you lot finished season second. At the beginning of the season, you lot would be partying. Yeah. You'll be partying in the changing rooms, everybody dancing, coming to America where there's that party.
No, we would not be partying.
100% you would be doing that.
We wouldn't be partying. We would just be happy.
100% you'll be partying, bro.
Arsenal
Let's
Football Club would not
real.
be partying for finishing second. That's quite
finishing
disrespectful.
8th and 5th,
They'll celebrate.
Of course they'll celebrate, bro. Of course they're going to go out, have a night out and have some dinner. Come on, man. What are you talking about?
You man have some respect, please.
So why I say what you're saying is a bit of cap is because it's not the start of the season. It's now.
What part of what I'm saying is cap?
He's assessing the whole season.
Listen to what I'm saying, because it's not cap,
Okay.
but it's not real.
Okay.
What you're saying is logical. It's logical and it makes sense. And obviously, like you said, no agendas aside, we're all gonna shake hands and agree. Yeah, nice. But the reality of the situation is that you lot you got to the precipice, you got to the mountaintop, and you still haven't got the climbing the mountain as an accolade. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
That's two different things. There's no denying that it's not going to hurt. But if you're assessing,
bro, hold on, host. How did we get to the mountaintop? You're going on like we were.
Bro, you were there. You're going on like on top of the mountain.
No. You're going on like we had 3 games to play and we were top of the table, like a certain team was a couple of years ago. Do you remember that team?
What is it? 95%. 95%. I believe that's the figure that's being toted. 95% of the season you were top of the mountain.
Yeah, but
you still didn't even get the certificate for climbing the mountain, bro.
It doesn't matter how long you're at the top of the table. But if you're not top of the table, when it matters. So
of course it matters. Because it hurts. All I'm talking about is the hurt.
Yeah, of course. There's no
and
denying.
It's the hurt that kills.
It's painful.
Yeah, but we can't say we were top of the mountain. People keep going on like we had some incredible points advantage. I think at the very most, you
had enough to be considered the champions, isn't it?
No, we hadn't. No, we had enough.
You were the favourites.
No, we hadn't. No,
you were the betting favourites.
No. I think we became the betting favourites
at any point in the season.
Once, maybe twice at tops.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm telling you. You can fact check that as well if you like.
How are you going to fact check it, bro?
You can see.
We're not going to fact check it. We're not going to waste time with trying to fact check.
But what I'm going to say, because the fact checks have been killing us today, what I'm going to say,
bro, we've never really been the league favourites other than maybe 2 times, and even then.
Okay, so you just answered the question. You have been the league favourites.
I said it to you maybe once, maybe twice. But we've been top of the table for like you just said, for over 90% of the season. Yeah, 240 days. Well, however many times, however long it's been. But even on previous episodes, I've always kind of scream blue murder about how City are capable of putting these runs together.
100%.
And everybody was aware of that.
No. But so listen, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was hyping, bro. I was hyping and hoping for the best, bro. It just so happens that the hope that I hope came true. But when I talk about you lot being they talk about you lot being professional failures or all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, the fact of the matter is that I actually thought you were going to win it, and I expected you to win it.
Based on, you know what?
Based on the fact that you were top of the table and you were saying you're going to be at the parade. So we all believed that was going to win.
It got to the point where I had belief that we can win it. Did I believe we were going to win it is a bit different. And I know you might start thinking cap.
No. You're being pedantic. You're being pedantic.
I'm not being pedantic. I'm not being pedantic. You know what it is? I'm telling you, yeah. I was hoping. I'm hoping. Guess we had 8 points clear. We had a point. We had the chance to go 11 points clear to beat Everton. We fall at that hurdle. I had a little bit of doubt there, but at the same time, I've got to be like, no, we can still do this. And then we recover, and then we start fumbling. Like I said last week, Liverpool. That was the time then when I started to think, you know what?
How many points was it then?
At that, I think we were at that point we had games in hand. So I think if we'd beat Liverpool, I think we would have gone 8 points clear. So the draw was 6 points.
So sorry, the reason why I say that it's cap is because when it mattered and it was the 8 games, you're saying you won 2 games out of 8 when it was technically being classed as a title race.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, I get if we look at it now from the start of the season, like you'll snatch it out of their hands and all of that kind of stuff. But I think the same way you capitulated the last season is the same way you capitulated this season. And that's what I think for me is the biggest problem.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not gonna sit here for a second and pretend that isn't a problem. But what I'm trying to learn to do more is to actually just support the team and to support our progression. Because what you've got to also remember is when Arteta took the team over, we would that he was the third manager in that season. Yeah, he then gone on to win the FA Cup, beating reputable teams. We then won the Charity Shield, and then we've finished 8th that season. I think that was the COVID season.
No, it was the season before that.
No, the season before that was a COVID season, but we're still. Why did we finish 8th then?
No, he took over Emery, and it was halfway through the season. I don't know.
The FA Cup.
I don't know if people have been cast out of these positions. He took over Arsenal at 8th, and he finished on 8th.
Yeah, but then we finished 8th again. But I'm sure that
was his. I think that was COVID season.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that was the COVID season. So I'm only saying that just to give some context, because there was a lot of times when Arsenal, especially, we just kept on losing players to this illness, and to the point where it even affected the start of our the season that came after it, where we was in relegation zone after the first 3 or 4 games, because we literally amassed no points and was just getting pumped every game. So to be from that, and I only could give you, man, all this context to say to climb from that point where you've got no points to go on the run that we did to then get to title, top 4 contenders. That was an accomplishment considering where we started in itself.
Like I said, logically, 100%.
Yeah,
but the realness and the real feelings around it,
I think
it's still going to be there.
There's 2 different things that you're mentioning there. You've got the achievement or the lack of it, and the feeling of not achieving. And I think you can still be happy with what you achieved.
How close?
And even based on how close you were, it's naturally going to hurt.
Yeah, cool.
So last season it hurt them. This season is going to be painful because they were this close.
Yeah.
They were this close, and everyone keeps on saying it's going to hit them. But Arsenal, I think they will come back. They proved it last season. They came out from it, and hopefully you'll see what happens next
because
season.
I think what Arteta's shown is he's shown that if he's back in the summer, he can coach and build a team that will get progressively better the following season. That's what he's shown us. But what he's also shown us is that he, at the business end of the season, he hasn't got what it takes to motivate his team or his players to get us across the line.
I think that's a bit unfair, because maybe that is the case. But what, again, people need to apply context is this is a manager. He's only been managing this is his 4th season or 3rd season?
Third and a half.
And he's competing with as we established earlier. Pep is one of the greatest coaches ever. Yeah. He's going toe to toe with that after 4 seasons as a manager.
All right,
he's going toe to toe with Klopp.
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. So of course, he didn't have what it took to take Arsenal over the line on 2 occasions, but he was good enough to get them there in the first place, and he's still learning. He's still naive in certain aspects of his decision making. But based on what he's shown you so far, you can only think he's going to get better.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying as what's actually more difficult. Is it going from 0 to 75%, or is it going from 75 to 100%? And maybe he might struggle with going from 75 to 100% to kind of get to where Pep is. And
I don't think it's unfair to acknowledge that might be the case, because what we've seen 2 seasons in a row now where there's been a naivety in his team selection or the way his in-game management. We've seen that. We've also seen that for one reason or another, our players are like down tools or downside. What's the term? Is it down tools?
Down in tools.
Yeah, down in tools. Like where it's.
I wouldn't say they're down in tools. I think it's harsh to say they're down in tools.
Either that or I think Joey said it a couple of weeks back, and I had some pushback. But maybe we don't have the answers for the low block or this Tony Pulis stuff.
No, but you can't say that. This is.
But I can't say that if I'm now starting to see it, like 2 seasons in a row, the last 8 games of the season.
We're against low blocks.
Not against, well.
So that's what I'm saying. Let's be accurate with what we're saying. I don't think that makes sense what you're saying. It's like.
But it kind of goes with, basically it is what the resources, isn't it? So.
That's what it comes down to. Not everybody. I don't think it's down in tools. That's what I'm trying to say.
Not everybody can play different styles of football if you don't have the resources to do so. And I don't think Arsenal do. I don't think Liverpool have this season. And I think it is also, of course, mental burnout more than anything.
Yes,
they're professional players who can still do the physical legwork. But I can't remember what video I was watching, and then somebody was talking. I think it was City players talking about the mentality to win it, and I think it was the Brett KDB. You were saying it's not about running and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. I can do that all day, but it's the mentality of dealing with all of that, and that's what's hard, and that's what separates top footballers from.
Yeah, and as an Arsenal fan, I think when you think about it subjectively, you are happy that you finished second, considering where we started. But then objectively, it's impossible to not consider the fact that
You might never get this opportunity again.
No, we will get this opportunity again.
Okay.
But I believe that. But I think it's objectively, you have to consider that 2 times in a row, as much as you've seen the progression, you've also seen that at the business end, when the pressure points are being pressed on, we're crumbling.
Yeah, and life is all about experiences, isn't it? So him as the manager, he'll get better based on these experiences, and the players, they'll get better based on their experiences. Saka's 21, Martinez's 21 or whatever. They both got double figures in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Salah was being loaned out to Florentina these times. So not to bring Salah in, but it just shows the potential that they have as players and he has as manager.
Is there any way that these 2 players can't get any better?
I think they'll get better in terms of experience, in terms of how they read and play the game. So naturally they will get better. Maybe technically they don't get better, but the way their decision making will naturally improve with
technically
experience.
they're pretty elite. Technically, obviously
maybe
not Martinelli, obviously, because his dribbling disability.
I think it will just be their decision making and experience. But before we move on, because we've spent a bit more time, what would you say, Strive, that Arsenal, in your world, what do you think they'll need next season to be able to maybe go that one step further? And
right, so we need to. We're
man like Solana, you know.
Jeez, Nobby.
Yeah, as I think we've noted it before, where we've got the Newcastle and Leicester game in the background. But yeah, what Arsenal need is we need I think we need 2, maybe 3 midfielders. It looks like Xhaka's going to Bayer Leverkusen. So I think we need to replace him and still add, because what Arsenal do is we like to replace players but not add depth. I think we need to get. I think we need a 6. I think we need a DM, and we need another box to box.
You consider Xhaka as a 6?
No, I consider him. He's been played as an 8 this season. Because I think last season, I think Arteta was ready to basically like let him go. But he basically said to Xhaka that you have to
show me.
Yeah, you got to show me that you can do this. You can do the 8 role, and Xhaka did, and Xhaka's had his best season for Arsenal. But we need to improve in that department. I would love for Xhaka to stay and still improve in that department. But yeah, it looks like he's going. So I think we need
so
2.
You need two 8s.
I think we need 1. Like one 8, because I think we're going to keep Partey, but Partey isn't reliable.
Not 8.
Partey's
6.
Sorry. I think we're going to. Yeah, we need 2 8s. Yeah, we need 2 8s, but we need 1 DM and 2 8s because Xhaka's going.
So
why do you need 1 DM then?
Because
Partey, Jorginho and
because Partey and Jorginho, they're getting on. They're getting on in terms of age, and Partey isn't the most reliable in terms of injury.
But don't you think this is opportunity to bring someone young in?
Yeah, maybe Lavia. Bring in Lavia as an understudy for the both of them.
Yeah, because you've mentioned Lavia coming, but I think you probably want a better 6 than the both of them, or somebody who can push them.
Yeah, but Rice could come in and do that role, and then he could also interchange and do the 8. But Rice could come and do that, and then you could have your. I know I've seen that we're linked to Mount. I would prefer not to. I know Mount gives you goals and assists and stuff, and he's quite intense with the press. So I can see why Arteta is interested in him. But I would
Mount in the 6 or Mount in the 8?
No, in the 8.
Okay.
Yeah, in the 8.
Your maths is off today, bro.
No, but I'm just talking about players, and you keep going 6 8s. I'm just talking about the midfielders that we need, and obviously defense as well. I think we need a hybrid. And
that's the worst miss I've ever seen in my life, bro.
That guy's focused, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, we need. I think we need another right back, but I'd like a right back that could probably do. Could play centre back as well, or centre back that can play right back, like a hybrid of positions.
I think what Arsenal need, they need a right back that can do what Kyle Walker does.
All right, so sorry, let's just.
By the way,
these are 3-4
the
players, because you're not going to get that many players in the first team. That's nobody does that in one season.
But if the question is what do Arsenal need to compete, I'm saying that's what we need as a priority.
Yeah.
But then here's the one where I get a lot of pushback. We need a striker.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's no pushback for it.
We need a striker.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Who pushes back on that?
a lot of Arsenal fans do, and a lot of Arsenal fans push back on that on the premise that we scored the second most goals this season. So goals isn't our problem this season. So if we tighten up at the if we basically tighten up get a better midfield, control the game better, and tighten up at the back, but they believe that we've got enough to win
the psychology of getting goals from a goal scorer is, for me, in my opinion anyway, only a bit of an expert, but the benefit of that is when you're controlling games, bro, it's easier to go into the next game. Sometimes, like, if you're not sure if your striker is going to hit goals, and then you're relying, like I said, you're relying on the whole team. You don't know who the goal is coming from. When you know today Fernando Torres is going to get a goal, Henry's going to get a goal, it makes it a bit easier going into the game.
I agree. And typically, like, what again, the pushback I've received is City won the league without a striker last season. Liverpool, when you guys won the league, you didn't have like an out and out striker. We
created something new though. Both teams have created something new. So if you're not going to play with a striker, you have to create something new. Yeah. So
then that's something new. If you've got Martinelli, that's on 15 goals this season. Saka's on 13, I believe. Odegaard's on about a similar 10, 11, 12 or something like that. We're sharing our goals all around the team. But my pushback to my fellow Gooners is City's also shared their goals around, and Haaland's still got 36 goals. Because if you take Haaland's 36 goals away from City's goal tally, they've still got 57 goals.
Even that season when Man City won without a striker, I'm sure somebody got 20 plus. I'm sure Raheem got definitely got over 20 in the season, but I think he got like 19. So I think we definitely need a striker, but priority positions, midfield, like we need to obviously add depth in the midfield. We need I think we need another centre back. I wouldn't mind another full back as well. So yeah. And then I think we go on to challenge next season anyway. I think we're definitely top 4. I think we push on to challenge again, but it is contingent on what we do in the market. And you said you're willing to put 250 on that.
250 on that.
You're gonna obviously we'll draw the lines out.
I'll be willing.
What the definition of racing? Who's that bet with?
Between me and Joey.
250.
I'm gonna go £5, bro.
The last time someone tried to go £5, they're ducking me. There's a lot of people that don't like paying their bets.
On that note, let's move on. So we're just going to go down the the Premier League. So we discussed City, we discussed Arsenal. So now let's move on to the top 4 race. Right now we're watching the game. Newcastle are third. Watching the game between Newcastle, still 75-minute gone, still 0-0. But I think all they really need is a point to guarantee Champions League. But Joey, as you want
no, Champions League is guaranteed now.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
Because the most we can get is 69, and I don't think we're going to beat them on goal difference. So it's just we have to score.
So they need a draw then.
No, sorry. Even if it stays like this, we have to score like about.
You have to beat Southampton like 8-0, bro. You could do that, man.
But mathematically, it's not. But okay, we can come back to Newcastle at the end. But speaking on yourselves, Joey, obviously you were pushing for top 4 after having like a. How would you assess your season actually? Oh, it's been up until this point.
It's been a terrible season.
Yeah. So I want to.
I think it's kind of like the opposite of Arsenal season, isn't it? So we had a shit season all season, then we had like a nice little run to kind of remind us, this is actually might be a good team as well, and it might think so
Arsenal's run reminded them that they're not that team.
Basically, so and then our run tried to trick us into thinking that we are that team, but we're not that team. And obviously,
one thing I'll say about your run though, which is I think will give Liverpool fans enthusiasm, which I'm actually seeing personally because I'm being offered bets left, right, and centre. Is you've proven that you can put a run of positive results, especially wins together. And as City has shown, knowing that your team can do that can literally win you titles.
100%.
So I think that will hold Liverpool fans in good stead, like knowing that your team is still capable of doing that.
Just for clarity, I'm not betting on Liverpool being good, or that my confidence doesn't come from that. I just can't see Arsenal doing a repeat.
No, I know you're not, but there's a number of Liverpool
they
fans.
think that Liverpool's going to finish above Arsenal.
I've been offered that just in this 1 week. In this 1 week, 3 times.
But sorry, back to the question. which was
Yeah. So in your own words, you've had a terrible season thus far.
Yep.
So now it seems it's still possible, but it's more impossible for you to get top 4. What do you think you need next season to? Because you want to be more than top 14. You want to be competing against City again.
We want to guarantee the trophy. Technically, that's what we want to do.
So, what do you think Liverpool need to do for next season?
We need to get back on the training ground, and I think Pep and Arteta have shown how they're trying to push the game in a certain direction. So I think Klopp needs to get back to the strategy or the war room, and they need to plan something new as well. Because something Klopp used to do is kind of like tweak something every season. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you remember the first season, the club really didn't have any identity. Next season, we were 100% gegenpress, and we're doing that rock and roll shit, and we were winning games 4-0 or winning games 5-4. So we'd be conceding loads, and we'd be scoring loads of goals as well. We got VVD in, and we cleaned it up, and we had a bit more of a structure, and we started playing a high line. Next season, we reinvented with, just tweaking bare stuff in it, like going with, because remember, Klopp started the no striker with, by playing number 10.
The false 9.
Yeah, and the number 9. So, we were doing things, and I think this season was like the first time we hadn't really done anything. We got in a new striker, but
yeah, you tried to, like, obviously.
No, but if I'm being honest, I don't think Klopp brought him here to for us to start playing with a number 9. I think he brought him here to kind of like let Luis Diaz do his thing, but Luis Diaz got injured early, and then he started. Was
he a Mane replacement, or was Diaz a Mane replacement?
I think Diaz ended up being a Mane replacement. I think he wanted to play Nunes as a number 9, but it just didn't work out, and then so you had to put him out wide, which he did play for Benfica. So I think he did try something, but I don't think it was tactical. It was more just through
hope.
No, not through hope. Through players rather than actual tactical and strategically. So yeah, man, he needs to change it up, and obviously we need to get the right players in, because we've got old team. We haven't had no freshness in our team for a while, and also our football's just been stale, man. Defensively, we're bad. Like, it's horrible, man. So yeah, so many things need to change, man.
Well, you're getting rid of so many of your fringe players: Naby Keita, Ox, Milner. Who else is out the door in your middle?
So yeah, just to clarify, we're not getting rid of, bro. These guys are leaving because their time's up, man. And I think Liverpool will be pissed that Keita's leaving after what we forked out from him. We didn't get anything out of him.
Yeah.
So I think I can't even kind of put my thumbs up to Liverpool for that, because it just so happens that these guys are out of contract and they're off.
Oh, and then they're off.
So
okay.
There's no ratings for that, man.
No ratings. But what I was gonna go on to is I think that as much as you've touched on the need to get back to the training ground and to be innovative on the pitch, what about your squad, incomings? Don't you think that you need to address that area because you guys are going to be playing Europa League, man, and them 5 p.m. kickoffs on a Thursday, man, that can take a lot out of you, my bro. So how are you going to do that whilst competing with City?
Listen, when it comes to 5 p.m. kickoffs, you're talking to Europa League winners, bro.
Cool. So you know,
not nearly, man, innit? So,
but when you were winning the Europas, you were also 6 and stuff. So.
But we were also winning the Europas, innit?
Yeah, but so obviously, I'm just saying that you want to be in a place.
Okay, what you should be saying is that we've won Europa, so you shouldn't be advising me.
I'm saying you want to be in a place. I'm not advising you. I'm just saying.
You're trending on fit eyes.
I'm just saying you want to be
big boy. Hey, big boy.
you said you want to be closer to City, innit? But I'm just saying your parameters are going to be different.
Closer to City. We are the closest to City.
I mean, you're not really. You're fifth.
No, I'm telling you, we are in it. Because I know you think
fifth.
Your little jaunt down to the top of the table. That was nice. Little trip down to the top of the table.
Factual information, we're closer to City.
We'll see next season, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I think you're just there how United finished second.
All right, let's just stay on point.
No, that's different.
I'm just saying.
It's very different, actually, because we actually put up a challenge.
It's the same name. It's the same name. It looks the same.
Okay.
But back to the point.
Yeah,
I think,
how are you going to close that gap? Don't you think you need some players?
Yeah, no, 100%. Again, I still think the whole season was burnout from last season. And I think they've already addressed it. Apparently, if Fabrizio Romano, who never lies, says McAllister's pretty much nearly a done deal.
Yeah, that would be a good purchase.
But if anybody's going to be the first one to prove Fabrizio Romano wrong, it'll probably be Liverpool. It'll probably be Liverpool. But
how would you feel about that signing, though?
I think so. McAllister for me is a hole that we haven't filled since Coutinho left.
Yeah, no, I'd be a bit pissed off if you got him, to be honest.
So yeah, for me that would be a great deal. Again, and it kind of like it's a 2-man job where you kind of potentially the way that Firmino used to drop in deep. He can do some of that, and then he can also he's all over the pitch in it, man. So that's definitely someone we need. I think I read an article where apparently Klopp has said we need 3 or 4 players in the midfield.
Yeah, because I think you man might making a bid for Caicedo, because like you said, Fabinho's kind of getting on a bit, and
I don't see Liverpool spending that much on.
Okay, so I thought that as well, and I was kind of thinking, you know what, it's a bit dead, man. Like, you know, he's been linked to everybody. There's no originality. I feel like when you're kind of signing all the other players that everybody's going after, it reminds me of when Man United signed Fred, when Man City were linked with him and all that kind of stuff, man. So it's like, okay, unless this is somebody who you've done your research on from the amount of time, because another thing about how Liverpool operate in the transfer market usually that we used to applaud them so much for is that you wouldn't really hear anything.
Yeah, and they'll just get it done.
They'll just get it done. So I know, for example, Gakpo is something that was happening for a long time before it got done. And then when Man United were linked, that's when they went and killed it. So I would prefer that we're being linked with players that they've been doing their research on for a long time. I don't want to like it to be like a kind of knee-jerk reaction because other people want this guy or all of those kind of things. But at the same time, if he's a sick player, which Caicedo is, get it done.
Because you was even linked to Rice at a point, I think.
Yeah, I think we were linked to Rice. I couldn't see Rice coming to Liverpool over, leaving London.
Okay.
Over other top clubs wanting him as well.
The maddest thing is, your club, Arsenal, United and Newcastle will want the same kind of profile of player.
Yeah, 100%.
For the midfield. So all those clubs mentioned need to move quickly.
So my thing is here is that what is applauded about Pep and Klopp before is that, like I'm saying, this guy's getting players that nobody else is really linked with, or there's not been any kind of concrete information with anybody else. So I don't know if I will be expecting anything new from Klopp if he's going for the same players that everyone else is linked with. Okay. I personally would like to see that they've come up and got somebody who we don't know anything about. Like, not necessarily don't really know anything, but Fabinho, when he came here, I'd seen him play a couple games for Monaco, but I didn't know how good he'd be at Liverpool. Right. And that's what I kind of want to see. Okay. You're actually, you don't mind the experiment, so to speak. Yeah. I want to see experiments, man, because like I said, we've been stealth for so long, man. Like, now is the time to experiment and then try and get some things wrong and get it right, bro. We're in the Europa League, bro. What have you got to lose now? Yeah, you're in a different space to me because I want to see tried and tested. Estrada, what would you say? But you need trophy though. You need trophies, man. Yeah, exactly. Like, you see how Joey doesn't mind. Like, he wants to see like expressive and impressive scouting. Like, you see, like for your teams, like, you know, you're a man of many club faces. Let's say Newcastle or Arsenal, because those are the teams that probably need to strengthen. Would you want to see players that not everyone's linked to, or would you want to see tried and tested linked players at your clubs? I'll say just make the right signings. For me, it doesn't matter whether it's tried and tested, but I'm a bit old school in it. I believe in scouts. I believe, you know, what are they doing? Like, why do you have scouts if they're not doing their jobs? You might as well get rid of them, innit? So we just play Football Manager. Yeah. So it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. It doesn't necessarily have to be tried and tested. I just need you to know that you're sure that you want this player and this player can come in and do a job for you. Yeah. And that's all that matters, really. Okay. So you're kind of where Joey is. You know what I read today? Sorry, this is slightly off topic, but we'll go back. I must read Kimmich was linked with Man City. Kimmich? Yeah. Not sure. Yeah, I swear I saw that. I saw it. I think it popped up on my YouTube suggestions, I think from TalkSport. I feel like Pep is one of those people that would never go backwards. Yeah. I've done my time with Kimmich. He didn't get... Because I thought Thiago would have went City. Yeah. And he's like, no, I don't want it. But yeah, so cool. So obviously Liverpool's chances of top 4 are gone. We know what they want to do, what you want to do for next season. There's still a chance, man. You just need Man United to lose 2 games in a row at home.
Speaking of Man United, we don't have our usual United correspondent here. Who did they play? They played
Bournemouth.
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Anyone want to speak in the game?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, to be fair, I didn't watch it in its entirety, man. I'm struggling to watch football, obviously, because of Arsenal's collapse. But I did see Casemiro's goal. Well taken. I thought it was quite a good goal. Brilliant goal, actually. Overhead kick, top bins. And it's funny, because obviously we was all having this debate with Casemiro and Partey and stuff. And I don't know, man. It's like Partey's kind of gone outside a little bit because,
But Casemiro was on holiday for a month.
That's true as well.
So he came out with fresh legs. So it's different.
Yeah, you just got to look at it for the whole season holistically, innit? And I think it's just very clear that Partey's had a better season than Casemiro. Who's better? I think it's just down to preference, man, because like Casemiro, Partey's just had a better season under a more established manager.
Up until, no, I don't think he's more established because Eric Ten Hag's just won the Eredivisie, whatever it's called, with Ajax.
For it's a brand new team, bro, man. Of course, you're going to be more established than anyone who's been at a team for more than a year. Sorry, just established
in the Premiership,
at Man United, at their clubs. He's just more established. He's had more than one. Arteta's had more than one season.
Okay. You're saying more established as in the Prem.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Not just in your club. Like, let's. If
Okay.
That's what I meant. My bad.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So anyway, to the game. Yeah. Like it. Yeah. To be honest, I was just because I hate United. To be honest, I wanted United to fumble. To be fair, but yeah, good goal from Casemiro. 1-0, job pretty much done.
It makes for a nice story, bro, if they fumbled, bro.
Yeah, exactly, man. But
Like, it would have been nice if Arsenal won the league, bro, but this is more entertaining obviously for the league in general.
not really. What more entertaining that City wins the league? Like,
No, not that they won it, but in the style that Arsenal didn't win it. So if they won it, that would have been the most entertaining or good thing for the league. But if you're not going to win it, at least do it in the way you've done it. So that everyone can... So that we can have AFTV, bro.
you're a serious character, man.
You know, from the game, I was watching bits and pieces of it. Apart from the goal, Bournemouth were unfortunate not to get anything out of that game. I think they were on the front foot for a large part of the game. But
Bournemouth played ball, man. I noticed that against both us and against Liverpool. I think after that, I tipped Bournemouth to stay.
Same.
Yeah, to stay up. So yeah, I'm not surprised. You say that still, Dilla.
Yeah, that's the top four. I think it'll be wrong of us not to discuss the relegation battle, which is currently taking place. So we know Southampton are definitely gone.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester,
That was one of my teams that I said.
Leicester are playing now. They have the bottom three as it stands right now. It's Southampton,
Everton
Leeds,
safe, innit?
Leicester. Yeah. No, Everton are just above the relegation zone.
Sorry.
They got 33 points. If Leicester draw this game, they have 31 points. Leeds has 31 points. So it's in Everton's hands. All they technically need... no, they don't. I would say all they need is a draw, but they need a win. And if Leicester win, I think they got a better goal record than Everton. So of the remaining three teams, Leeds, Leicester and Everton,
Well,
who do you think is going to go?
Leeds have got to play Spurs, I know that much. And the way Spurs are stinking up the gaff at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if Leeds beat Spurs and somehow stay up just to like that final headline to just just encapsulate the shit show that has been Spurs this season. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think out of those three teams, I tip Everton to do it. You know, who's Everton?
Everton's got Wolves.
Yeah, I tip Everton to do it, man.
I want thinking to.
No, sorry, Everton's last game is home to Bournemouth.
Ooh.
Home to Bournemouth. Leeds is home to Spurs. Leicester's home to West Ham. So West Ham, they may be resting players for their cup final. So then Leicester can get something out of that game.
I want Everton to go down because, like I said, it's just about the way the club's been managed, man. I think it's not fit of a Premier League team. They've wasted so much money, so I want them to just get a rain check in the Championship. I think Leeds could go down.
Ooh. What a save.
Well, Leeds could go down and I'll be all right with it. But I want to see Sam Allardyce do it one more time.
Yeah,
I want to see him do it one more time.
I wouldn't
bro.
mind Leeds.
Only because he came back on the hype, bro, talking about how he needs to be mentioned with Pep and Klopp. So, yeah.
But it's very difficult for Leeds because if they win the last game, they will have 34 points. Okay. If Everton don't win, then Leeds will be safe if they win. But I think Everton, all they need is a draw. But if Everton get a draw and Leeds win, Leeds still get relegated because they've got a worse goal record.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's only by 3 goals though, so it depends how Leeds win.
I don't see them beating Spurs by 3 goals.
Fair enough.
You know.
But to be honest, I don't care for Leicester, man. Leicester had one job, man. Just do us a favour. When they didn't do us that favour, I didn't care for Leicester.
Against who?
Against City.
Well, I think I might want Leicester to stay up only because I know the club's been in turmoil. Well, not turmoil, but since the guy died.
Yeah, I know, man.
Like, so that will fuck up a club, innit, man? But they didn't make any signings in the transfer window, the first one. So, do you know what I mean? The writings might have been on the wall, to be fair.
Yeah, I was really hoping Newcastle won today, but.
Why? Do you just wanted it to be done and dusted?
No, it's done and dusted now.
At home,
they've drawn.
Last game at home.
They've drawn. They've guaranteed it because Liverpool can't get 70 points. Or can you?
No, we can't.
Yeah, so they've done
get
it.
69.
So great season for them. So as usual, let's close out. We're gonna talk about our back pages. This is a segment where we shine some light on some players, managers, or clubs all over Europe that have done pretty well this week. Who wants to go first?
I will. I didn't really get I didn't really think of how I was going to summarize it, but I wanted to give it to Chuba Akpom. Chuba Akpom, still, man. Like he's had it tough. He's come from the obviously he's an Arsenal alumni. He's gone to various different clubs and it's just not worked out for him. Wasn't finding the net. And he was touted to probably be the most impressive or the most promising striker coming out from in that whole youth setup. So it's just nice to see him finally kind of come into his own, realise his potential. And yeah, he's smashing it for Middlesbrough at the moment, man. I think he's the top goal scorer now. And I think he's their player of the season, or I think I might have seen.
Yeah. One thing yet, Middlesbrough as well. Balogun.
I think Balogun. Yeah, Balogun was there last season.
Okay, yeah. And Chuba's done the rounds, bro. I think he was playing that in Cyprus or Greece.
Yeah, he's gone everywhere. Now he's got like 28 goals.
Sick.
2 assists. Yeah, man. Sick, man. So yeah, man, I want to give the back pages to him, man. And it's just been nice to see all the players in and around the Premier League and just people that he's rubbed shoulders with just congratulating him as well, man. It was just a nice touch. Everyone's really acknowledged his struggle. Yeah, man. Big you up, Chuba.
It ain't no struggle, bro. This guy's enjoying life, bro.
Nah, man. You know, when you're going on goal droughts, man, trust me, it does something to you, man. Yeah. Talking from experience.
I hear that.
Joey?
My recent ones have been pretty selfish and I ain't gonna stop. Yeah, this one goes to the man, the myth, the legend. I'm struggling to speak now because the tears coming out of my eye.
Eddie Howe?
Bobby Firmino, man. The whitest teeth in the Premier League.
Jeez.
Rescue
the point for you as well.
The no-look finisher extraordinaire. The Arsenal slayer.
Yeah,
I hate that guy. Yeah, hey, bro, I hate that guy, bro. I can't wait to see the back of him, bro. Pause.
This guy this guy came to the league, brought some flavour, brought some samba to the Mersey. Yeah, sad to see him leave, man. Revolutionised the game to a certain extent as well in terms of, again, as we said before, the false number 9. Did it so well. Facilitator, slight dictator, distributor as well. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Massive legend, man. Big ups and best of luck in your endeavours.
Yeah, man.
Right. I've got a list of people I can give this to. Obviously, we're watching the game, so Eddie Howe's just got Newcastle into the top 4. which was a great achievement. But my honourable mention has to go to. Okay, before I give my main honourable mention, just an honourable mention to Dortmund that hopefully they can probably win. They won at the weekend. Hopefully they need one more win and they'll break the 10 title curse that Dortmund are.
The generational curse they put on the
Tuchel's having a madness, bruv.
Big time. But I want to give it to no other than Darren Moore at Sheffield Wednesday.
Come on.
In the playoff, they were losing 4-0 against Peterborough. Then they came back 4-4, took it to extra time.
Jeez.
Then it was 5-1. Then they won on penalties.
Jeez.
So for one of our brothers, when they lost, when they lost 4-0, everybody was calling for his neck.
What, in the Sheffield Wednesday?
The media, the fans were calling in saying he's a terrible manager, this, that, whatnot.
Jeez.
Bear in mind, these fans are so fickle. He got you to the playoff. Okay, you've lost. You've lost. Okay, yeah, that's not a good result. But yeah, I'm just happy that he was able to turn it around. And now they've got to the final. I don't know who they're playing, who's in the final with them, but hopefully he can see it through. So well done, Darren Moore. If you're listening, you're my honourable mention.
Well done, Darren Moore.
And Jules, can you put it up quickly for us, for the listeners to this?
Right now, Sean Longstaff's talking.
Yeah, so as you can hear, guys, one of the podcast club teams has qualified for Champions League. So it's a beautiful day.
So what are you saying? You've had a good one. Yeah, you won.
You've won 2 and 3.
You won the Premier League.
Premier League, Champions League, we're in there, baby.
Well, you made me sick.
I know. On that note, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for rocking with us. We'll be back again next week. Peace.
Easy.